Well, hello there. I just took delivery. The FedEx guy came. We swap a lot of science fiction movies. But he just dropped this off for me from a company called OSCIUM. And this is really rather tasty. It's an oscilloscope that works with any iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, which is really rather handy. So reading the instructions here, I don't actually have an iPhone or iPad yet. I'm hoping one day I'll get one for Christmas. So I borrowed this one off my mate Nick. And the instructions say to download the IMSO software from the App Store, and Nick did that for me a few minutes ago. So let's run the software. And then connect the scope to your iPod Touch or whatever. And there it goes. The blue light indicates that the scope is communicating with the application. Blue light. Scope communicating with application. Pretty cool. And then we've got one analog probe, and this works up to 12 megasamples per second. And we've got 4 digital probes, which work up to 5 megahertz. Which, you know, for some things, if you're in the gigahertz range, this isn't going to do you any good. But for the sort of stuff that I do, this is actually pretty darn smart. I mean, you remember my Geiger counter from a couple of weeks ago? I could have really done with this back then. And I'm currently working on my atmospheric monitor project, and I'm sure this will come in handy then. So I think poor old Nick is not going to be seeing his iPod Touch for a few weeks. Sorry, Nick. But I think this is pretty darn smart. If you think that for a powerful oscilloscope, I think that after you go about 4 inches diagonal in size, every inch, my understanding, costs an extra $800 because they're just trying to price you up. If you think of an iPod, an iPad with the big screen that's like, what, 10.7 inches diagonal? I mean, that costs thousands in oscilloscope terms. And this is the sort of thing that as an engineer you could be walking around with this whole setup in your pocket. I mean, it's an oscilloscope in your pocket. There are things like this FPGA base that plug into PCs and everything. But this is just something you can walk around with all over the place. I, for one, am well impressed. Jolly good idea. Wish I'd thought of it.